Liam, Manchester United, they'd one shot on target. It was the penalty, which they scored, of course. But other than that, they were pretty comprehensively outplayed.
Yes, I would agree with you there, Eamon. I think City were in control of the match most of the time. The third goal really summed it up. Something like 40-odd passes before it's in the back of the net. What City are all about, retaining possession, but progressive possession, going forward with it. They almost sent Manchester United to sleep on that third goal because they had the ball so long. But United's failings very evident again. Defensively, Shaw was bad for the first goal on the far post. Wasn't aware that there was someone behind him. I thought Matic was bad for the third goal. Didn't pick up, although he's playing. He was right at the centre of the fence. And
Lindelof for the 1-2 with Aguero. He let Aguero play 1-2, get in behind him, ball watching.
Just about to say that, Eamon, but you stole my thunder.
Sorry, but it was really, really poor defending, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is basic stuff, really, and they've conceded 21 goals. And for a top team, it's just not on, is it, really? No. They've only scored 20, conceded 21, and that sums up Manchester United at the moment.
John, United coming off a win against Bournemouth away, which really could have been a heavy loss, and a win against Juventus away, which could have been a heavy loss. You can't keep getting away with it, can you?
No, to be fair to Mourinho, he said it after the Juventus match, Eamon. Well, he's not a mug, he said, you can't keep hoping that the other team won't score. It wasn't good enough, although he was delighted, obviously, to beat Juventus. It was a big win for them on the night. But he definitely did mention that, and quite rightly. I mean, if you're giving chances away, Eamon, then it's just luck that you're getting through. There's no doubt. Juventus, I didn't see the Bournemouth match. You saw that, and they could have been 3-0 or 4-0 at half time.
Yeah. The way they set up, I mean, he very defensive in midfield. Matic, Herrera, and Fellaini. They're the three sort of heavies to try and upset the rhythm, whatever rhythm City had. And then Rashford up front, with Lingard up front as well, and Martial. Yeah. It was an attempt to what they call park the bus. Now, I thought for the first, City got a start on them. I thought at times in the first half it looked okay, but it was very negative, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it was. Yeah,
no Sanchez. He's got the option of playing Sanchez
and Lukaku
and Mata.
Yeah.
Who did well against Juventus. Scored a great goal.
He's been there 2.5 years. And, I know you're playing Manchester City, but there's nothing wrong about playing against them as well. Yeah. I can understand Bournemouth and other teams and Huddersfield coming to City and then, I'd say, parking the bus. But in Manchester United's case, I know they started okay and they had a certain period. But if you take the 90 minutes, Eamon, totally outclassed. Yeah. Manchester City were playing with them at the end, and it looked like they were looking at it, but they were still looking for the goal.
Yeah.
If you look back over the 90 minutes, it was the goalkeeper made a big mistake for City to give them the goal.
Yeah.
The only shot they had on target. Over the 90 minutes, you'd have to say they were totally outclassed, and it wasn't a Manchester United performance by any means. It wasn't a Manchester United approach by any means, as you said there about the team that he played. This was a very, very defensive team and a very, very negative team. Now, whether they would have done any better playing in a different way, they certainly couldn't have done any worse, I don't think, over the 90 minutes.
Yeah, Liam, looking at the table, United are 12 points behind City, and they're 7 points off a Champions League place. Considering the money they've spent, both Mourinho and Van Gaal, they really are going nowhere, aren't they?
They are, and that's what the big question has to be, amongst the powers that be at Old Trafford. What do we do? I think to continue with Mourinho would be a big mistake. But it's who you get to replace him, who's available. Are they going to be able to totally revamp the squad and make it competitive again? Because, as you said, the league is over now, and we're only 12 games in. And for them, the league is over. Mourinho and United, can only be looking like to get into that top four for a Champions League place now. And that shouldn't be happening when less than a third of the season's over, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they need a huge injection of money apart from anything else. And I can't think off the top of my head of a major coach who'd be willing to take the job on now.
Well, they also need somebody to get in there and spend the money well, you know?
Yeah.
Now, whether that's a director of football who knows his stuff, or whether it's a new manager, but certainly Mourinho's failed badly at that. And, you know, the chief executive, Ed Woodward, you know, he's been in charge of those kind of things for the last 4 or 5 seasons, like since Fergie left, really.
Yeah.
And the team is not as good as the team that Fergie left, to be quite honest. So it is a real mess. It's a real worry. Things don't look like they're getting any better. I think Mourinho will go at the end of the season, if not before. I thought he'd be gone by now. I think they should have taken the bull by the horns and let him go maybe in the last international window, and even got somebody in that was going to take charge and play the Manchester United way. Just what John's been saying there, their approach to the way they're playing games against the big sides, whether it's Man City or it's Juventus. It's just not Manchester United. And that's why I go back to when Mourinho got the job in the first place, Eamon, I said he wasn't a fit for Manchester United, and I think it's been proven.
Yeah, John, he's not a fit for Manchester United. And to be honest, I mean, the way he's behaving, his behaviour in general is worse now, more childish, more self-serving. He's in no way does he tick the boxes for a Manchester United manager.
No, I think with him, Eamon, I think once he gets a bad run, then he becomes a really bad manager.
Yeah.
Because if you look at all the players, we said it before, Smalling, Luke Shaw, Rashford, even Sanchez, Lukaku, he's fallen out with them all.
And Mata, although he's not named Mata, but he pulls him off all the time, or doesn't start him. Like yesterday, after a great goal and a good performance against Juventus when it mattered in the late stages of the game, he doesn't even start yesterday.
Yeah, I think he's fallen out with too many players. I think once he gets to a stage, same with Chelsea. When he fell out when things were going well at Chelsea, he's a great manager.
Yeah.
I mean, when things go slightly wrong, then he turns on them. In other words, none of it can be his fault.
Yep.
So therefore, he criticised the players publicly, which he's done at Manchester United. And once you do that, you lose. There's no doubt you lose the players. I mean,
now, just to take up the point Liam made about playing the Manchester United way, I don't think. I mean, it's remarkable that Fellaini started yesterday. He was brought in by David Moyes 5 years ago. Yeah. When Fergie left, he's still there. He's still the go-to man in a big match like Manchester City. Yeah. That's incredible.
Well, I mean, every kick out was to Fellaini, and I think he's a very useful player.
He is. He's a good lad, yeah.
But he's not the main man in what you're doing, and that's why I think it shows that Mourinho has lost it. To be quite honest, I think with the talent that they have at Old Trafford, I mean, if they do get somebody in. Actually, on the television, yes, I'll just go off my point. Graham Nurse had a challenge to Gary Neville, and he said, "Do you think this manager is getting the best out of his players?" Well, Gary didn't answer it. Actually, he said, "Well, I don't know," but with something else. But that's it's the first question you have to ask: what's going on? Is the manager getting the best out of the players that he has at his disposal? Now, they're not the best players in the world, but they're not the worst players. I don't think he is.
Right.
I mean, and it shows week by week now when you end up in a big match like there was yesterday against Manchester City, he picks that particular team.
Yep.
Like he's been there for 2.5 years. I don't think that was the best team, as you alluded to there. Mata's not on the pitch. Lukaku's on. Sanchez is not on the pitch.
Yep.
Right? Obviously, that's his decision. But these are quality players. And what he ends up with on the pitch yesterday, I don't think was the best team that Manchester United could pick. So therefore, he's not getting the best out of the players at his disposal. And if manager's not doing that, then you have to get another manager in to get the best out of the players at their disposal. And I think somebody coming in, a good manager, Manchester United would be a lot better with a new approach, with a new manager who really knows his stuff. I think Mourinho has lost his way there, and I think he's lost his way with the players.
Okay.